We're working to learn more about the man who investigators say is responsible for the mass shooting at Brown University and the murder of an MIT professor in Brookline. Police tracked Claudio Manuel Neves Valente to a storage unit in Salem, New Hampshire, where they say he took his own life. Now, one of the big remaining questions, of course, his motive. We've got team coverage for you this afternoon. We begin with WBZ's Anna Myler in Salem.
This is where that intense multi-state manhunt finally came to an end. FBI SWAT team members found the suspect's body inside of a storage unit, dead from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. Officials say the tip that finally cracked this case was about the car the suspect rented. A dramatic end Thursday night to a 6-day search for the man wanted for a mass shooting at Brown University and the murder of an MIT professor 2 days later. The suspect, identified as Claudio Manuel Neves Valente, a 48-year-old Portuguese national living in the U.S. legally.
We got him.
Investigators say a helpful witness came forward and provided them with information about the suspect's car. That led them to a car rental place in Boston. They say the suspect signed the rental agreement with his own name.
And that person led us to the car, which led us to the name, which led us to the photographs of that individual renting the car, which matched the clothing of our shooter here in Providence.
The president of Brown University says Neves Valente studied physics at the university in 2000. He took a leave of absence in 2001 and formally withdrew in 2003. On December 13th, officials say he opened fire inside the Barris and Hawley building, killing 2 students and injuring 9 others.
So I think it's safe to assume that this man, when he was a student, spent a great deal of time in that building for classes and other activities.
After the shooting, Neves Valente was sophisticated in covering his tracks, changing the license plate on his car, using an untraceable phone, and he didn't use credit cards in his name. Law enforcement officials say even though he is dead, the investigation is ongoing.
Our work is not done. There are many questions that need to be answered. There's a lot of evidence that needs to be processed.
Of course, the big question that remains is the motive. The president of Brown says that the suspect had no current affiliation with the school. In Salem, New Hampshire, Anna Myler, WBZ News.
And contrary to what they initially thought, investigators now say the gunman and the MIT professor did know each other and actually studied together in Portugal. WBZ's Penny Commit continues our team coverage live from Brookline. Penny, you actually spoke with one of the professor's neighbors?
Yeah, Chris, that's absolutely right. And this neighborhood, understandably shaken up. I asked them, do you feel better knowing that someone is in custody? And they said, honestly, no, not really. It's a reminder that these type of things can happen absolutely anywhere. It is believed that the MIT professor attended the same university as the suspect in Portugal. They were there together from about 1995 to 2000. They both studied physics, and it is believed that they knew one another. We want to show you a photo of 47-year-old Nuno Loureiro, who lived in Brookline with his 3 young kids, was reportedly shot Monday night, died Tuesday morning. Investigators say that the suspect drove straight from Brown University to here in Brookline, where he was seen on surveillance video at a nearby apartment and pinged just about a half-mile away from the professor's home a day before the shooting. Brookline residents say they are glad a perpetrator who brought this violence into their community has been caught, but they're really eager, really on edge to hear a potential motive.
I think there's a story behind it. I think there's got to be a story behind it, right? Like, there's a reason this guy was targeted, and we need to figure that out. And if it's a reason that threatens the community of Brookline, then we should be more scared. And if it's more personal to that guy individually, we should be less scared, I guess. But it just is a reminder that scary things could happen anywhere.
The shooter and Loureiro were also very similar in age, just about a year apart. Loureiro went on to become a pretty prominent name in the physics world, even leading one of MIT's largest labs. We're live in Brookline. I'm Penny Commit, WBZ News.
All right, Penny, thanks for that. Well, the Trump administration says the suspect was able to obtain a green card through a visa lottery system. As CBS's Jared Hill shows us, the Department of Homeland Security is now making a major change to that program.
Chris and Paula, the Trump administration says the U.S. is pausing the diversity visa lottery program through which suspected mass shooter Claudio Neves Valente was allowed to stay in the U.S. and get his green card in 2017. The program launched in the 90s. It offers about 50,000 visas per year. Diversity in this context pertains to people from countries with relatively low rates of U.S. immigration. Portugal is one of dozens of European nations on that list. In order to qualify, a diversity visa applicant needs to have at least a high school education. They're also required to undergo vetting and an interview before getting a visa. President Trump has been critical of this program for years, arguing it could pose a security risk and isn't based enough on merit like employment-based visas. More than a decade before Neves Valente got a diversity visa, he was admitted to the U.S. on a student visa to attend grad school at Brown. That's according to the police affidavit. Now, the future of this diversity visa lottery program is still unclear. It can't completely be scrapped by the executive branch since it was created by Congress. Jared Hill, WBZ News.